Hey everybody, welcome back. So, it's so much going on. I missed an episode, like I missed the first episode where they actually got to Jamaica. But I was like, okay, I'm just going to jam pack them and I'm going to watch them back to back and then come on here and just do it like, okay, baddies take Jamaica, whatever. I would have never dreamed not only what I would have watched, but also what would have unfolded on Twitter as of like last night. So I'm just like, let's start with the episode and then maybe we can get into some of that other tea because there was a lot of stuff that if you got friends and people that you follow on Twitter or wherever that be having the clips and they be following the tea pages and stuff, you get a little bit more of an interactive feel with the show and you can go back and forth about opinions and stuff. So I've been looking at a lot of the discourse and it's very interesting. So let's just get into it. Let's go back to the first episode where the girls get to Jamaica, which they low-key just appeared in Jamaica. It was like we had this very tense dinner the episode before, and then it was like, okay, we in Jamaica now. So it was like, okay, girl, I guess we in Jamaica now. Um, I do have my iPad, y'all, so don't mind if I do refer to it from time to time. So, we get into Jamaica. I'm like, okay, look at these beautiful aerial shots, aerial views of the water, the sand, all the resorts. I was like, okay, I'm feeling a Jamaica mood. Like, okay, you taking me away a little bit. You giving me some escapism. So, then we see the mansion, and the mansion was really nice. Like, I was like, okay. And my first thought, I was like, okay, this is a big ass house. Like, I was like, is everybody for once gonna be staying in one place? Are we gonna cancel out the weird hierarchy thing, or what's going on here? And lo and behold, that mansion was for what, five or six of the girls as usual stay in, while the other girls stayed in another house. I couldn't tell you why we still doing this weird hierarchy thing, but it's still going on. Very much entertained by Natalie herself. So hey, when they're sitting down to talk about what happened at the dinner in New York, and this is like what Scotty, Natalie, Mariah Lynn, Sapphire, E.T., Rolly, the usual crew that is, in this higher up crew that gets to stay in all the nicer house, to take the PJ, da 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 da, for whatever reason. Um, I was like, dang, the convo is kind of dry. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like when they was recapping, I was like, I don't know, like I'm just not feeling y'all's energy. And I was just like, damn, what time do the other girls get here? Because I'm not enthused. We in Jamaica, but it's like, can we roll the next clip? Like, I'm bored actually hearing y'all talk about this. But anyways, it was like a clear distinction. Like when the other girls showed up, like when Biggie, Anna Mac, Camila, Scott, like when they showed up, that's when the episode started to pick up. And that's what I'm saying. Like I just don't get much out of this other house where they're supposed to be, enjoying all the luxury, and there's something about them is just more uppity than the other group. Like I don't get nothing out of y'all. Like I don't feel that entertained until the other girls from House 2 show up. No shade. Actually, a lot of shade. Um, but yeah, so they show up and I'm like, okay, finally, some energy. Um, Also, the conversations, like when it's just House 1, let's just call them House 1, they're just really nasty spirited and they just, for real, be obsessed with what's going on in House 2. So do y'all want to like merge? Like it just like, even though y'all so pressed to be separate, like y'all literally cannot stop talking about the girls in House 2. And I'm honestly like, damn, the season wouldn't even survive without them. So whatever, y'all can have the PJs and the mansions and the blah blah blah, blah blah blah. So moving on, we get in more acquainted with them being in Jamaica. The idea of them going on this vacation together and It seems like a lot of the girls are willing to put things to the side to have a good time. And T ends up leaving. I was unmoved. I know a lot of people like T. I'm kind of neutral. I do not. I told y'all, like, I'm a hot girl down, so I did not like her stance on the Tory Lanez and Megan situation. So, girl, you did nothing for me. Once I learned that was your stance on it, I was like, oh yeah, you one of them ones. I could care less. So she did bring some entertainment to the show this season. I won't say she didn't, but like I said, I was just unmoved. Like, it just didn't affect me or hit me. Like, I wasn't like, oh, the show is over now. Like, we needed teasing. Like, I didn't feel like that. So then, I'm feeling real good. Like, once the girls are on the sprinter and they are going to Ocho Rios to, do some shopping. And I think that's all they kind of said was on the agenda for the day. So I was still like, okay, let's see how they engage with Jamaica and what they're going to be getting into on this trip. And, it's Zeus Network, so it's going to be a mess regardless. So I was just like, let's just see where it goes. And, even on the sprinter, like, the vibes is feeling pretty high. Like, I was like, okay, like, the girls is really down to just have a good time and, enjoy this travel together. And even with Smiley, like, I noticed, like, they was just engaging with her a lot different. Like, they just seemed to be embracing her a little bit more. And I was like, okay, cool. When it comes to Smiley, we got tons and tons we can say about Smiley as this video goes on. But at this time period, I was just like, okay, cool. All the girls vibed up. Love to see it. So they talking about, Smiley is pouring her own shots or whatever, and they're noticing that she is just drinking quite a bit. Like, this girl is drinking way more than usual. They said they don't know her to be a drinker or a smoker, which I was like, okay, girl, like, I didn't know that about you, but hey, I respect you. If you're just not into that, I get it. Trust me, I ain't gonna fault you for it. I ain't gonna bend your arm, make you do it. Like, I get it. I totally respect that. So, I was like, okay, she don't drink that much. She on vacation. She must just be feeling it, feeling like that's what she want to do. Hey, let loose a little bit. Do what you want to do. But then things just take a horrendous turn when Smiley, she went from vibed up to unconscious, like, so quick. And you notice, like, all the other girls are kind of like, okay, anyways, let's go. Like, let's, like, they like, it is what it is. But Sky is like the lone one that like stays back and is like, she's not doing too well. Like, let's try to get her some water. Like, let's make sure she's okay. And, like I said, the other girls are just in la la land. Like, they just like, oh well, suck. Hate that you're sick. And her condition is just getting worse and worse. Like, she is a noodle. Like, she can't even put her damn feet on the ground. She can barely speak. She's throwing up and like dry even. I mean, it was quite a bit. Like, I personally, like, I've been in that position, especially in college and stuff. Like, I'm a lightweight, so I know how it is to like go past your very small limits and to end up in that condition and to make it home by the grace of God because people ended up taking care of you along the way. I've had so many instances like that where I literally was a noodle myself. And I was so triggered. Like, I was like, oh my God, like, is she okay? Like, yeah, Smiley be doing a lot sometimes, but I was like, yo, is she okay? And you notice that same, like, dismissive attitude that some of the girls have where they was just like, oh, well, like, that turned into, like, them getting enraged. Like, oh, she's faking it. She's always doing stuff to you know, bring the vibe down like she's a dark cloud. And, I think that I'm gonna say my opinion. Here's my opinion. I think that number one, multiple things can be true. It can be true that Smiley does kind of just have this dark cloud energy with her. Like, it's always something. Like, it can get annoying when there's just always that person that has this meltdown or this thing that goes on with them that just deters everybody's night. Like, and it's constant. Like, we all have our days and our moments, but when it's like constant, like, yeah, I get it. Like, that's annoying, and that would be somebody that if I had a choice, I would separate myself from in my own personal life. I get it. But on the other side of that, if somebody is having a medical emergency, no matter what terms you're on with them, wouldn't your humanity kick in at some point? You'd be like, we ain't on the best terms or whatever it may be, but I hope human to human, you're okay. Like, I waited for so long for that to kick in for some of the girls, and it just never did. And even, like I said, they started to get madder. Like, they were saying they wanted to fight her for being sick like this. So, I'll talk more about that as I go on, but I just feel like in the moment, whatever terms you was on, like, there should have been some concern with whether or not she was going to be okay. I was actually like appalled to see a lot of them like getting mad at her for having this moment. So, like I said, conditions getting worse and worse. She ends up going to the hospital, and I was just like, what the hell? That was how the first episode ended. It was just like hanging in the balance. Like, is she gonna be okay? So I ended that episode like, what? Like, what is this? Like, we waited to get to Jamaica, and this is like how we starting off. Like, what is going on? So then I start the next episode, and this is when more of the anger starts to come out. Like, they're like, Smiley's ruining our time. Like, these girls got real nasty spirited real quick about this. Like, Taseki, like, girl, I really liked you all season, and I was just really appalled by how she responded. Like, I was just like, yeah, it's giving Krishan your sister a little bit. So even too, like, they seem like they have more empathy for Rolly whining and complaining about her dad who had seizures in the past. And baby, we're gonna unpack that because more tea has come out on the timeline about that situation. Um, yeah, and actually, let me get into it now because they pulled up clips on Twitter of Rolly saying that her dad died from COVID and other clips. So now your dad died from seizures. Not only that, you spreading misinformation talking about put your hand in somebody having a seizure mouth so they don't swallow their tongue. So this has been like debunked many times, especially recently, as something that you're absolutely not supposed to do when somebody's having a seizure. So for this information to even be like spewed on this platform was so crazy. And the girls just like eating it up, like, oh, Rolly, I'm so sorry. Like, yeah, I understand you had to take a step back. Like, even her leaving, like, she said she left because she got so mad. And I was just like, damn, if you would have had this much energy and emotion towards like making sure this girl was good, like, it would have been something different. But you saying that, I thought, like, at first I thought she left because she was so upset and saddened by like the condition that Smiley was in. And to come to find out, she left because she was mad that Smiley was that sick and she felt like it was an act. I was just like, yo, what is up with these girls? Like, and Rolly too, like, let me get on you a little bit because I feel like Rolly, like, in past seasons, like, I actually do not like Rolly at all this season. And I was actually rooting for her in past seasons because she was kind of like the underdog, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like people picked on her and like attacked her for like her looks and stuff like that. And I hate to say it, but I really feel like she was somebody that, it's so easy to internalize like that kind of harm that's done to you from people. But it's like when she got this newfound confidence, which I support, like I always support, it's like she just used it to just like punch down. Like she just took all that internalized like criticism that she got and just used it to just be nasty to everybody now that she's feeling herself a little bit. And I'm just like, I don't like it. I don't like this new Rolly at all, girl. I don't know who the hell you think you are. I tried to root for her like this season. Like I was like, y'all, like just give Rolly a little, and I'm just so perplexed. Like I'm just like, what the hell is going on? Like it's getting weirder and weirder by the day. Um I just have to laugh because I know like that's just one of so much that's come out on Twitter in recent time. So then Natalie and Scotty get into it. Like they all come together for this dinner, and I don't fight with my friends like that. I don't put my hands on my loved ones like that. Like if you get me to the point that I feel like I gotta put my hands on you, you ain't meant to be around me, because I don't even want nobody around me that's gonna get me on my body like that or disturb my spirit like that. Like I don't even entertain those kind of connections. So even just like the fact that they was so willing, like Natalie was so willing to put her hands on her best friend, I was like, okay. And she also was just like doing a lot of weird power plays, like exerting power over Scotty, like talking about you can walk home, and like I'm gonna show you why I've been doing this for 15 years. And I was just like, is this a best friend? Are you sure is this best friend, or is this, I don't know. Like it sometimes give like they got a little bit more to their relationship than what we know, because it just be like a weird animosity that comes out and it's expressed very weirdly as well. Um, so I don't know. Like I was just like, my best friend don't talk to me like that, or she don't do no power plays on me like that. So I don't know how y'all do with y'all's best friends, but I just thought that was so weird. And Scotty just kind of was taking it. I think Anna Mag had like a good point, like when it's somebody smaller than you, or like I don't know, when it's anybody else that you be getting into it with, a Scotty, you be trying to like go so hard. But when it's Natalie, like you letting her like mush your face and push you and have her way with you essentially. But anybody else, you got something to prove. Um Also Suki, yeah, Suki did her big one. I might have talked about her in the last video, like how she just kind of pops up and has all this to say without really knowing like what goes on when she's not there, because she doesn't spend a lot of time in the house. But I have a new understanding based off of like what she posts on social media. Like she says that she came out and said that she really only came on the show just to kind of ease Sapphire into like the TV world, because Sapphire was more interested in being, on Zeus and being on TV in general. So she kind of was like, I'll be the one to step in and bring you along as my friend, which that's cool. I respect her for that. But that explains why she was doing so much coming and going and still trying to be somewhat a part of the show. Um, but yeah, so she comes back from one of her moments of being away, and after the whole Scotty Natalie thing, Smiley pops back up. She's saying that she's feeling better now and she doesn't remember what happened, and whatever. Like I feel like, okay, if y'all, I still don't necessarily agree like it was right to be mad at her, like I feel like she faked it because she felt better. But y'all do have a history of beating up sick people on this show, which is weird. But it's like, if it was a time to be mad, it really wasn't one. I guess it would have been then when she was recovered and back home or back at the dinner or whatever. But they decide they're gonna do that really weird bullying thing that they do. Like ET poured water on the girl's head, Taseki trying to fight her, Natalie trying to fight her, like fresh out the hospital. Just weird, like weirdos. And Suki was just like, nah, like I love when she told ET to her face that she was lame for that. Like you was corny for that. Like you always looking for your little one. You try to do your little one all the time, but you look so whack. And she was so lame for saying like, Suki of all people was wanting camera time. Like the level of delusion and the lack of self-awareness, like ET, nobody knows who you are outside of this sphere, and maybe now that's TV or whatever, but girl, you you do nothing. Like, you make no noise. You're the most hated on this show probably, and you probably won't go on to do anything else beyond this because your spirit's so nasty. So nobody really is checking for you like that. Suki, love her or hate her, she's well known, and you know what I'm saying? She got a lot more like exposure, clout, whatever you call it. Like, she is just more known. So for you to even come out the side of your mouth and say that she's looking for camera time was so insane. So then Rolly decides she's gonna do her big one over ET, another weird relationship that they always seem to step for each other. And now Suki and Rolly is into it when we leave off the episode. So I actually hope that Suki puts Rolly in her place, and I don't know what else I'd like to see for the show. Clearly, Smiling went home, probably for the best, and yeah, I just thought it was just another set of really weird interactions and behaviors on the part of these girls. I think they're all just weird. Like, I can't even say who I like anymore, and I didn't feel like that the last time I got on here. Like, I had a couple people that I was like, oh, okay, like, I'm neutral, but like, so some things that have come out or been uncovered since the episodes came out, because the girl's been going live a lot. Like, Biggie, it's just like he's always going live. Like, I don't know what they on there talking about because I haven't gotten on there, but I'm just like, is this because the backlash y'all got? Because y'all was all moving so weird. Like, Biggie was kind of chill on this episode. Um, but yeah, um, since then, Stunna Girl posted some very questionable screenshots, pretty much confirming this rumor that's been going around that a lot of the girls have dealings with the Zeus CEO, who is also married to the lady who hosts the reunions, but they all be messing with him, and it makes so much sense. But I'm not trying to confirm or deny because Scotty stay getting into random fights, and the people that she's been getting into these random fights with just throughout the seasons are now being named as being like people that mess with the CEO as well. So it's like Scotty, Anna Mac, allegedly Stunna Girl, and then Razor, because think like Razor and Scotty got into a really random fight one season, and it was like, where did this come from? Allegedly, it was animosity between them about the Zeus CEO, Lemmy, or whatever the hell his name is. So I don't know. It's just been a lot. Allegedly, Krishan's not coming back to Zeus because she's not getting paid enough. Good riddance. Nobody really cares anyways. Don't care about any updates. Blueface is in jail and it's been very quiet. Very grateful for that. Thank you, God. Finally, some divine intervention. Hopefully, she will fade off into obscurity, but I don't know. But we'll see. But yes, so much drama. So we coming back to on the next episode. Like I said, we will be seeing the outcome of this fight between Natalie and Scotty, which look like it's gonna be part 2. Um, Rolly and Suki, and it looks like Suki's gonna be upset that her friend Sapphire is not like coming to her defense. I think it's like a situation where Rolly and ET kind of try to both go at Suki. So I don't know, y'all. This is so crazy. This was the moment we were always waiting for them to get to Jamaica, and it's just a mess. So I don't know, y'all. I will see y'all in the next episode. Let me know what y'all think, how y'all feeling about everybody, and we will talk soon. Bye.